Florida.
And the tattoo was freshly done. Like she got it, it didn't even look all the way healed. It was just enormous. Instant panic attack. Instant panic attack. I gave up. I realized where the fuck I'm at. You know, this woman adores us, and this convict adores us. And she's married to this guy, and I'm about to fuck this bitch. You know what I'm saying? And I'm back!
Terrifying.
So I was like, ugh. She's like, what's wrong? And I was like, you're back.
You know what's
she was
wrong,
like,
bitch? You're back! That's what the fuck is wrong. You don't like it?
She was like, do you want me to go? And I was like, yes. I flew home in the morning. This biggest real sucker bitch ass. Oh, God. I can't believe this happened to me. So, I said, talk to my brother, and I'm telling him the whole story. And I'm like, but Rob, man, I really think I like her.
I can look away.
All you motherfuckers factoring in that I just got out of that marriage, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. A motherfucking monkey could have sprung me that day. I would have fell in love with a chipmunk. So I was like, man, I think I really like her though. And he's like, what are you gonna do about her back, bro? And I was like, I'm gonna have her get a tattoo of my face paint all over his, so it'll be me. And my brother was like, go ahead, Joe. Paint his fucking face with your paint, but that'll always be his eyes. I shook me on my bone. I shook my panties when he said that. So, I ended up selling out and calling the bitch.
Keeping it real.
And I was like, listen, oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you guys a crucial piece of information. Her boyfriend kept smoking bath salts in prison. Every time he would get caught smoking bath salts, he had a month to do in the hole. First time he got a month, second time he got 2 months. When he got out, he promised her he'd never smoke bath salts again. He smoked bath salts, and then he got popped again, now he's doing 3 months in the hole. 2 days later, I called. So, I'm talking to her now, I'm like, forget your back, I ain't worried about it, I'll just hit it from the front for the rest of my life.
Missionary. Classic. A staple. Underrated, really.
Why is that so funny to me? Alright.
You have to stare into her eyes or his eyes. You gotta pick. You gotta choose. Somebody's eyes are gonna be staring at you.
So, I was like, come stay with me, you know? And she was like, all right, I'll come stay with you for like 3 weeks. We'll see how it works out. And I was like, cool. So, we planned she would come like in 2 days or whatever, right? The next day, I'm at the bar with the root boy, and I get this text and she's like, Bear just got out. She calls him Bear because he looks like a fucking bear. Bear just got out of the hole. He wanted me to come see him. Listen, I'm gonna go see him and I'm gonna tell him everything. You know, and I'm like, you know, the way you love that mass murderer, I would do anything to be loved like that. I thought that was the most romantic shit I could say.
He's about to get snitched on, and he finds it endearing.
Because I was doing serious thought in trying to spring this fucking maniac woman. I mean, if she could get sprung off that Forensic Files episode, So, anyway, so we planned that, and she's like, he's getting out of the hole. He wants me to come visit him, you know? And I said that. So the next morning, she texts me and she's like, I just went and saw him. Do you want me to call you when I get home from the 6-hour drive? Or do you want me to call you now? And I was like, call me now. So she calls me. And this is the story she tells me. They were walking in the yard and she began to tell him everything. Bear. You know how ICP's your savior and all, and turned you, reformed you from being a mass murderer? You know that guy Jay in the group? He kind of called me. We're fucking now, you know, and I'm gonna go stay with him for the next 3 weeks and we're gonna see how it works out. She said he started hyperventilating, and this is the most horrific part. She said he went to scream, but no sound came out and he froze like that. How fucking scary is that?
It's fucking terrifying. He looked just like the tattoo.
Then she said, and he pulled out his prison card that they used to swipe, and he started picking at it. And at first I thought he was picking the sticker off of a bear that I gave him because he's my bear. Thank you, Ouija. Does that touch you right here?
Yeah.
Does it touch you right here?
You know it does. Oh, bear!
So she's like, but he wasn't picking at the sticker. I realized he was splitting the card down the middle, and there was a razor blade in there, and he pulled the razor blade out and he was gonna cut his wrist, but I wrestled the razor blade out of his hands. How?
She wrestled a blade out of a serial murderer's hands.
How, little girl, did you wrestle that razor blade out of Bear's hands? Right? Anyway, she said that. And she said, but when I wrestled the razor blade away, I said, I promise I'll never talk to him again, Bear. I'll never talk to him again. And I can't, Joe. I can't talk to him again. I love you. I'm sorry. I love him. And she hung up. And it felt like the floor fell away and I was just falling to my death. 5 years later, I get a phone call. It was her. And I was like, hey, how you doing? I'm alright. Are you still with Bear? Yeah. And she was like, yeah. But we're breaking up. But I'm gonna be forever committed to getting him out of prison. And I was like, quit calling me, bitch! That's my favorite story, y'all.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. Alright. This next story. Where was I on this list? Okay. My girlfriend, the very juicy Sarah Rusi, told me one day, I had a dream that you were on stage sitting next to Rosa in a bar. And I started laughing. I actually started making fun of her. What the fuck is that? That's so crazy. I swear this is true.
No more melatonin.
2 weeks later, I did a podcast, and a guy invited me to an event called Skate Fest in Vegas, and I played Seattle, me and Joe, or no, we did, 3 Head Monster. We played Seattle the night before, and I didn't get no sleep at all, and I flew to Vegas, and all I had was a bag of mushrooms.
Hold on. a garbage bag of mushrooms. We're not talking about a fucking Ziploc bag with a little quarter in it. This motherfucker had a garbage bag of mushrooms. I've never seen so many mushrooms in my fucking life. He had Santa's fucking sack of mushrooms.
So, we ate the mushrooms. I was in the worst mood. I'm like, why did I agree to come here? I didn't get no fucking sleep. You know what I mean? It was supposed to be at this thing at noon. What is it, Rudy? What is it? Rudy's like, I don't know, we're on our way there, let's go. You know, I'm like, what are we walking into? What is it? Is it a podcast? What? So, we get there, we get out of the car, we start walking, and first thing I start, and we're in this beautiful venue in Vegas, right? The shopping center or whatever the fuck it is, it was beautiful. I start smelling weed, and I realize it's only noon and everybody's mad fucked up. Everybody's drinking. And the more people as we're walking, and then I see a boxing ring in front of like a 4 or 5 tier balconies of people hanging over the balconies, watching 2 chicks battle it out in the boxing ring. Anyway, the event was awesome. It was called Skankfest, and I'm high on mushrooms now. And there's a podcast happening with the Legion of Skank. Shout out to Big J Ouija Macc Oh. And I forgot, I'm standing in the crowd, high on the mushrooms. I forgot I'm watching this all. And I forgot I was a guest on it. I swear to you.
This is fucking fresh.
I didn't know this was gonna be in front of a huge crowd. I thought we were gonna be in a little room doing a podcast or something. So, then I see them announce out Roseanne Barr, and I'm like, what? Babe, Roseanne, what the fuck? Roseanne's here. The place is going nuts. I totally forgot I'm next. They fucking announced me out, and I'm sitting next to Roseanne Barr. She fucking tweeted, y'all. So what I did was I took the text she sent me when she had the dream, and then I posted the fucking
screen
footage, and I posted it on my Instagram. Is that fresh or what? What is it? You think it's super?
That's some psychic shit. That's a psychic premonition.
The carnival provides.
Speaking of Sarah, I gotta tell you guys a funny story about when we met. Sarah is like, well, she's a celebrity when I met her, you know what I mean? She's really, really big on Instagram, and she does reality shows, you know what I mean? A lot of reality show stuff. And in case you don't know, reality shows are fucking fake.
For real?
Yeah.
Stop playing. No way. You mean the Real Housewives ain't real? Damn.
So, when I first reached out to Sarah and we started talking, I was like, well, can I come see you? She's living in Miami. And she was like, yeah, you can come see me, but listen, I'm doing this reality show, and if you come here, I gotta do the reality show also that weekend, you know? And she said, and the reality show I'm doing is a blind date, and they have me set up to go on a blind date with somebody. So, if you're coming here to take me out, I feel like I should address that this fake-ass reality show also has me going on a date with whoever it is, you know what I mean?
Okay, we're good.
So I'm like, hell yeah! That's awesome! So, the guy that happens to be the blind date is a comedian. Was he a comedian, man? He was a comedian, right? And he also teaches class. He's what's called the kinky coach. The kinky coach. Kinky coach is taking my girlfriend out, my new girlfriend out, on a fake ass reality show.
This guy sounds like he needs to be cellmates with Bear.
I think that's so fresh to me. And all I wanted to do was meet the guy and say, what the fuck makes you the kinky coach? So that you're charging nerds as if you know. Do you have a degree in kink? Fuck It's not other shit. But I admire the confidence in calling yourself the kinky coach and running ads to fucking. Obviously, I'm mad he took my girl out.
Did he spell coach with a K? The kinky coach with K's?
I got a fresh wrestling story I forgot to tell you. No!
I'm sorry.
I got a fresh wrestling story to tell you. Who knows who Too Tough Tony is?
Shout out to Tough Tony, man.
Tony is the man.
We were wrestling in TNA, and Tony, Too Tough Tony, took some sort of bump in the ring to cause him to shit his parents kept up.
That shit happened.
You ain't never had your ass whooped if you didn't shit your pants.
That's true.
You just got into a fight and didn't do very good.
So, I'm not gonna get into specifics, but Tony has a move called the Tony Driver, okay? Where it's a pile driver, where basically he sits on you, he has you lifted up behind him to where your face is in his ass, and then he shits on your face. Tony went ahead and shit his pants by accident, but did not choose to change plans, did not choose to abandon the Tony Driver. Instead, he gave the other guy, Kid Cash, I was gonna say, the other guy will remain nameless, Kid Cash.
You got the pudding press.
Kid Cash took the motherfucking Tony Driver with the shitty pants,
The dump bump.
What about the Rude Boy? Anybody know the Rude Boy? Let me tell you how fresh the Rude Boy is. We were in Vegas, and there was a Prince impersonator. So we went to the show. He was awesome. He calls himself Purple Rain. Look at how, like that. Because he's short like, this dude was short like the real Prince and everything. So he looked just like Prince. This is how fresh Rudy is. We went to the show, and I was like, man, he went backstage, and I was like, tell the guy at the door, tell him ICP's here, the dude from ICP, can I meet him, you know what I mean? So they were like, yeah, you can meet him, I'm all drunk. And me and Rudy took a picture with him, right? He was in the middle, and it was me and Rudy. That's how fresh Rudy is. After Rudy got the picture, he cropped it out so it was just him and fucking Prince.
And framed it.
And posted it everywhere. And this was when Prince was still alive. How fresh is that, man? Seriously, actually, I just wanted to stooge Rudy out on that move. But I admire that motherfucker to no end. I would have done the same fucking thing.
I saw the picture with him cropped out that you got at your house.
I got a fresh story. Okay, one time we played in New York City. We got in a tour bus and we drove 4 hours into the night. We eventually stopped at a truck stop. We went into the diner and we're looking out the window at our bus parked there while we're enjoying our meal. And what do we see? There's a ninja walking on top of our bus, you know what I mean? So we tell Tom Dub, investigate. There's a ninja on the roof. So Tom Dub runs out there. Turns out, he gets out there as the kid's climbing down. He had got on the roof in New York. He pissed himself. And Tom Dub, being Tom Dub, was confused of how we thought he should handle the situation to this young, courageous juggalo. So he randomly rolled on punching him in the face. And he punched the kid in the face. And we're like, why, Tom, why? And he was like, I didn't know what to do.
It's
Whenever
funny
I don't
knowing
know
Tom
what to
Dub. That story.
Whenever I don't know what to do, I punch somebody in the face. All right. I got another first story for you. What had happened was, we were on tour in Australia. It was our first time ever in Australia. And back then, weed was hard to find in Australia. So we purposely stayed in the ghetto. It's called King's Crossing in Sydney. And that's where our hotel was, because that's where all the strip clubs are, and you can find whatever you want. So we're staying in King's Crossing, and what they got over there is kids, little kids, homeless, sprung out on heroin, right? Everywhere. And with my retinas, the jelly orbs in my face, I peeped out a group of kids springing across the street while there's a car racing down it. And the last kid got hit by the car. This kid literally flew, I would say 15 feet before he landed back on the street and slid, rolling, right? He was on the floor like this. Just, and I was like, oh! And the guy jumped out of his car, and we're all standing there. And then the kid sprung up in the air. And before he landed, he was already running. And he bolted off into the night. Just like a cat.
Great.
Just like a cat.
That later that same night, out of my jelly orbs once again, they have excellent peripheral vision, better than my frontal vision. And out of my cat butt side, there's a gaggle of young women. And I see a cloaked, hooded figure approaching them on the sidewalk behind the gaggle of broads. Excuse me, I turned up. So the hooded figure snatches one of their purses and runs off. And I was on him, Ouija. I was on his ass. And at this point in my life, it was the Shangri-La era, and I was marathon running every fucking night. I was a triathlon. Try that shit out.
The Flash.
I was on him the whole time. I was on him, I was yelling, I run every night, motherfucker, I got you. You're mine. And he's running with the purse until I couldn't see the purse anymore. Like I seen him running over a bridge, and he didn't have the purse. So I was like, fuck it. And I started walking back, and there it was. And here comes the gaggle of whores. I was a hero, y'all! I chased that fucking purse down, and that's all the pop I get for that weak ass.
You didn't hear him say he saved the day, goddammit?
Ouija, do you have a story?
I do have a story.
How about a story from Ouija?
Alright, so what had happened was, the story is about when I was mega young. I don't even remember how old I was. I was probably like 8 or some shit. I was really young. My memory's fucked up, so sometimes I'll remember some shit and think I was 8 and I was 16, you know, but I think I was 8. But yeah, like I didn't get to see my dad very much. My mom and my dad weren't together, so my dad would like pick me up and we would chill sometimes and shit. And this one time he took me and my half brother, Chris, he took us out camping in the middle of fucking nowhere. I'm talking about like way out in the middle of nowhere, like where you want to hide a body at. Like there's no one fucking out there for miles. We were like super fucking secluded. We were like seeing wild animals all day and shit. It was kind of scary, honestly. But at night, we're getting ready to go to sleep and we're playing cards. We're playing this game called Authors. I don't know if you ever heard of it, probably not. It's like Goldfish, except with authors and the books that they wrote as the cards. It's supposed to like trick you into wanting to read books. It worked, because I like read them books off the fucking cards later in life. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is we were sitting there and I was like, yo, you got any Walt Whitmans? And my brother was like, yeah, and then whatever. I won the game and I was super fucking stoked and we were going to bed. And it was like a super fresh night. Like I was like super stoked. I won the game of Authors or whatever. We passed out and then we wake up to the sound of a fucking creature outside of the tent. And this fucking creature sounded insane. I'm talking about its breath was like such a deep, bassy breath. It was like, right outside the tent. And I'm fucking terrified, all right? Like I'm about to piss my pants. The way I describe it is, you know the hamster feeder? How there's like a bead of water at the end of it? That's what the piss was at the tip of my dick, all right? There was a bead of piss at the tip of my dick, and the pissing of the pants was about to happen. I was fucking super fucking scared. And I wake my dad up, and I'm like shaking him, and I'm like, Dad, Dad. And he wakes up, and he hears the shit too, and my brother hears it, and we're all fucking like looking at each other like scared as fuck. This thing is breathing outside of the tent. So I look at my dad, and he just pulls a fucking gun out of nowhere. I didn't even know my dad had a gun. This might have been the first gun I ever seen. No, it wasn't. But that's not the point. The point is my dad pulls a fucking revolver out of nowhere.
Fucking
and he's
pulls
like,
out the chrome Desert Eagle.
like some dirty, hairy shit. And he's like, I got this.
It happens to, wait a minute, it happens to be one of those fucking Colombian ones, all fresh engraved with 24 karat gold. That's just my speculation.
The custom handle.
Whale tooth handle.
Anyway,
Pulls out the El Chapo.
he pulls out this gun, and I'm like, all right, well, my dad got this. So he unzips the tent, and he's pointing the gun out of the tent and a flashlight, and he's just frozen. And now I'm even more fucking scared, because he's frozen. That's not what you do when you're about to fucking die from some giant fucking crazy animal. You don't get frozen. So I'm thinking, we're fucked. We're all about to get eaten by this bear. This is the end of my life. And he just goes, come here, you guys gotta see this. So we peek our heads out of the tent, and there, 3 trees down, is a deer. A beautiful deer. Eating my dad's shit that he took in the woods earlier that night. And it was like a really bad diarrhea shit. So it was just like a puddle of shit. And this deer had a shit mustache. I'm talking about, we're shining the flashlight in it, and the shit on his mouth is like shimmering in the light. Like he just headbutted some pudding, if you know what I'm saying. And he looked so fucking happy. He wasn't scared of the flashlight. He was just licking the shit off his own lips. And it was the most majestic thing I've ever fucking seen in my life.
Sorry to everybody eating right now.
Shout out to everybody eating.
What a great thing for a growing little boy to see. That may be partly responsible for why Ouija's Ouija. Do you have another story that's Ouija?